Good morning, friends. This is a message from your health ministry team at First Pres Marion. It's called Stress and Memory. Do you ever wonder why your memory at times utterly fails you? Why do we feel as if we're operating in a fog at times of grief, or forget simple and routine things when we are operating in a sea of stress? I remember my struggle in packing my suitcase recently to go to my siblings' home when my younger brother Bill, died suddenly. I forgot one of my shoes, my toothbrush, and my socks. My mind was totally in a fog. There was no way I could approach even the simple task in any kind of organized way. Everything took a great deal of energy, physically, mentally, and emotional. So our brain works in strange ways. If you are interested in the science of the brain, I'll give you just a teeny tiny, short, very layman-like lesson. The brain works very hard to produce our memories. It needs to do three things. It needs to encode, which means it needs to receive the information from our environment. It needs to consolidate it. That means it's got to store it in a fashion into our long-term memory. It's much like burning a CD. And then it needs to retrieve it or call it back to the memory when we need it. When stress shows up, our brain releases two main hormones to deal with it. They're both produced in the adrenal gland, and one is called adrenaline. We're all very familiar with that stress. That's the one that shows up immediately and gets us out of a bad situation, activates our muscles, activates our blood being going to the muscles, the large muscles that need us to either run or lift that heavy car off the baby, whatever we need to do in the immediate moment to keep us safe and others safe. The second hormone is cortisol, which tends to hang around longer. Cortisol attaches itself like Velcro to the hippocampus, and that's where the brain stores the memory. That's the brain's memory center. This makes sense when you consider that it's in our best interest and in the best interest of our species to clearly be able to remember what to do when we're in danger. Cortisol in the right amount is a good thing, as is stress. It helps us to react when we need to make a plan to stay safe. It helps, however, the brain at times tends to exaggerate the danger we are in. And too much cortisol in the wrong situation can be a bad thing and can impact our ability to concentrate, problem solve, or remember. Too much cortisol can, in fact, gunk up our brain pathways. Now, that's a special scientific term, gunk, but we all know what that means. How can we lower our cortisol levels when they're too high and, in essence, degunk or clean out our brain pathways? The good news is that there are many, many things that we can do. And here are some, just to name a few. One is take deep breaths. Just breathe in for 4 seconds or 4 counts, hold it for 4 seconds, and then release for 4 seconds. This turns on what we call our parasympathetic system, and it almost helps us to calm immediately. How many times have we said to people or said to ourselves, all right, Susie, stay calm, breathe, remember to breathe. It really works. Laughter is another wonderful medicine to degunk our pathways and to reduce our cortisol. And I was even told it apparently works even if it's like a forced laugh. But just a good laugh is just wonderful medicine. Gentle exercise on a daily basis. Some of us sometimes try to do too much, and that causes additional stress to our body, or not enough, which is its own problem. So just pace ourselves, but make sure that we move our body regularly throughout the day. Our bodies really are meant to be moved, but do what you can do comfortably, but try to do it regularly. pray. That's a good one. In prayer, we can actually just say to God, take this problem, take this stress. We can turn it over to Him in His loving hands, and we know that He will take care of it. And in return, He will give us that peace that passes understanding that He has promised it. So we can take that time to thank Him for His love and care, explain to Him what it is that is causing us problems in our life right then and there, and then just silently say, God, we know that you can take care of this. Take care of a pet. A lot of people have found that having a pet really is a comfort and a source of joy. Sleep. Develop a good sleep pattern so that you get a regular 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day. And much of that is to turn off all screens at least an hour before you go to bed. Start relaxing and start just preparing for you to sleep. Eat real food. Read the labels on what you eat, and as much as you can, try to eat healthy, organic food that really is what our body needs. Develop a sense of optimism. That you can see a situation, and instead of engaging in a lot of negativity about what might happen with that situation, just develop a sense of optimism about it and turn that negativity into positive. Spend time with family and friends in beloved community. At this point in time, it may be more virtual contact, but that time with family and friends is very healing. Read uplifting things, and for Pete's sake, spend time outdoors. Above all, be kind to yourself. Think about it when a close friend was really in a bad situation and you could see that friend was in a lot of stress. How would you respond to your friend in that situation? Treat yourself the way you would a good friend. You can do this by keeping a self-compassion journal for at least 1 week or longer. That helps if you can make sure that you can write down things that you are grateful for, things that are bothering you, and above all, envelop it in a sense of kindness and care. Practice mindfulness. A good definition of mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in the present moment without judgment. Bring awareness to awareness and embrace what is in the moment without heaping criticism on yourself. Someone once said, life is too serious to be taken too seriously. Find the beauty in every human being and in every creation of God's. And please remember that God asks us to love our neighbor as ourselves, so He knows how important it is for us to love ourselves. God bless you in all you do, and with love from your health ministry team. Thank you so much.